Hi Yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today's video is pattern number 4 in our Pamper Us series. This is the Sleep Eye Mask. It is super easy to make, it's super thick and super comfortable. And it's totally easy to adjust by adding this stretchy hairband to it. This is the perfect thing when you need a little alone time. You want to take a nap, you want to take a bubbly bath, or maybe just a soak in the tub, and you want people to leave you alone. Cover your eyes, lean back, and relax. Put on some pretty music, maybe light a scented candle. Lots of ways to just relax and get rid of the stress. Close your eyes, put your mask on, and relax. Now you can find the complete pattern with pictures on my blog, and as always, I'll put that link down in the notes underneath this video. So for our sleep eye mask, or eye sleep mask, you're going to again need 2 types of cotton, medium weight number 4, because this is again our 4th pattern in our Pamper Us series. So I'm going to be doing the main portion of my mask in this blue, and again that's the cotton yarn B. It's cotton et lin. And I'm going to be doing the main portion of the eye mask in this blue. And then I'm going to trim in our potpourri ombre cotton, which is, of course, that sugar and cream that I've been using. And I really love the way these 2 yarns are working together. You're also going to need a hair pony or hair elastic band. And this is just your basic size that you buy in a pack of like 12 or 24 at your local store. I buy these at Walmart. I go through a bunch of them because I lose them a lot. But you're going to need one, and that's so that we can put a little elastic in the back. That way you can adjust it to fit your head. All right, we're going to be stitching with our H-hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You need a needle just for weaving in ends, and of course your scissors. Now you're going to need to make 4 of these circles that I'm getting ready to show you how to make, because we're going to make 2, put them together, then we're going to make 2 more and put them together, then we're going to put those 4 circles together to form our eye mask. All right, so I've got my blue here. I'm going to start with my slip knot, and I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to stitch 7 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. The first 3 will count as 1, and I'm going to stitch 7 more in in that 4th chain from the hook, and that's going to give us 8 double crochets. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over and go through the second 2. So here's my chain 3 that counted as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 1 more for 8 double crochets. I'm going to join to that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now before we go on, we're going to turn this over, grab our needle, and we're going to go ahead and weave this in. Now you can wait till all 4 of your circles are done if you want to. I just like to go ahead and get it done. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around those stitches and close up that hole, and then we'll just go back the other way. Make sure that's nice and tidy. Now, if you prefer to do a magic circle here, you certainly can. Clip that. So now for row 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets. We joined to the chain 3 and chained 3. And then we also took a second and closed up that hole in the middle. Now for row 2, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of our stitches around. Our chain 3 counts as our first, so we'll stitch 1 right in that same stitch as our chain 3. And then we'll stitch 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets all the way around. There we go. Alrighty, so on row 1 we had 8 double crochets. On row 2 we're going to have 16 double crochets because again we're stitching 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So we're going to join to that chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. So we had 8 and now we have 16. We joined to our chain 3 and chained 3. All right, let's do row 3. On row 3, we're just repeating what we did on row 2. All right, so we're going to stitch in that first stitch, which is the same stitch as our chain 3, and then we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. And this is going to give us a nice flat circle for making our eye mask. And I've heard them call sleep masks and eye masks, so I'm calling mine a sleep eye mask or an eye sleep mask. Either way, it's a great way to pamper ourselves. Alrighty, so I'm stitching 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets around. There we go. All the way around and join back to our chain 3. So now we have 32 double crochets. We're going to join to that chain 3. And we're going to go ahead and tie the first one off. All right, so I'm going to go in that next stitch and pull that loop to the back. So we have a nice finish on the front. We'll grab our needle and weave that in. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make another circle. All right, so here's one. And so now I'm going to go ahead and make another one. So now I have stitched up a second circle exactly like we stitched up the first one. Now the first one we weaved in the ends, but on the second one we only weaved in the first end. And on this one, we left the yarn attached. And that's because we're going to hook the 2 circles together. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put them together with the right sides facing out. All right. And we're going to slip stitch 4 stitches. So we're going to go through the first stitch on this side and the first stitch on this side. Let's find one that's easy to go through there. And stitch 1, 2, 3, and 4 slip stitches. All right, I'm going to pull that loop just a little bit big so you can see what we did here. So now it looks like a pair of owl eyes, right? Isn't that funny? So now what we want to do to finish off this row is we want to single crochet around the entire 2 circles. All right, so we'll go right back in that first loop. We'll make a chain 1, and now we're just going to single crochet 2 single crochets in the first double crochet, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And we'll do this all the way around, come up here, and then all the way around, back over here, and join to our first single crochet. And that'll give us a nice edge all the way around these first 2 circles. So I stitched 2 single crochets in the next, and 1 in the next 3, and repeat all the way around. Here's my last 3. So I'm going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch and cut off my yarn. All right, so now we've stitched up our first 2 circles, stitched them together, and then stitched around them. And now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat what we just did. You're going to make 2 more circles, you're going to stitch them together, and stitch around them. And then we're going to take those 2 pieces and put them together for a nice comfortable eye mask. So now I have 4 circles, 2 of them joined in the middle, and then the single crochet edge that we put on them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this one and turn it over and put this one on top of it. So it's going to be a nice thick eye mask. All right, now we have weaved in all the ends except for 1. And we're going to bring in our next color. So let's go ahead and bring in our next color. But if you want it to all be one color, you certainly can do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start, and I'm going to push those ends inside, and we'll start right here in this first single crochet, and we'll go through the first one on this side and the first one on this side and stitch a single crochet. And we'll stitch 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this till we reach the center over here. And then we're going to add that strap or tie. And we're stitching the front and the back together. That's why we're going through a single crochet on this side and a single crochet on that side and sewing it together. So you're going to want to stitch 16 single crochets. All right, so now you're going to chain 30 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have chained my 30 chains. I want to add my elastic band. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide that on there. And we're just going to ignore that it's there. Just sort of push it over. And we're going to go to the second chain from the hook and slip stitch. I'm just going to take that and sort of stretch it over there so it's out of the way. And then we're just going to slip stitch back down the chain. And that's going to hold that band on there. And it's also going to make it elastic so we can sort of adjust the size of our band. Everyone has a different size head. You may want a longer chain. And I like the idea of not tying the headband or the eye mask. I don't know why I called it a headband. But I like the idea of not tying it. I can adjust it to my size head and just slip it on whenever I want to use my eye mask. I have slip stitched back up the strap or the band. And now I'm just going to single crochet in that next stitch, again going through the front and the back. And we'll work our way around to the other side. And I'll show you how to do the band or the strap, the tie, whatever you want to call it, on the other side. All right. So we'll work our way around here. Then we'll go to the 16th stitch over here and we'll do something similar and attach our band. So I continue to stitch around. I'm in my 16th stitch here. And so now we're going to do what we did on this side. We're going to chain 30 chains. I chained 30 chains again. I'm going to take this, put it over my hook, and we're going to stitch a chain 1 this time. And then we'll just move that out of the way, bring our yarn back around. You'll need to do another chain 1. And then we'll move that over that way. And then we'll slip stitch in the second chain from that band. I said from the hook before. It's actually from the band. All right. And so now what you'll do is you'll just continue to slip stitch back down the strap to the eye mask the way we did on the first side. I do recommend before you do this side that you put it on your head, see how it's going to fit, and if you need to adjust this strap larger or smaller, you can do that by adding more chains or subtracting chains before you add your elastic band. The elastic does not have to be in the center of the mask. It just has to fit so you can have a nice relaxing bubble bath or rest. So I have finished slip stitching back up to my eye mask, and so now we just need to finish single crocheting the front and the back together on the top portion of our mask. So we're once again just stitching single crochets around the top, and then we'll join back to our first single crochet, and then we'll be finished. I finished my single crochet stitches, and now the last thing I need to do is join to that first single crochet and weave that in. Now there is one more thing you can do. Let me go ahead and get this loop to the back so I can weave it in. And I'll just put that in the back for now. I'll grab my needle in a minute. The last thing we can do, you can leave it like this. It's perfectly fine. It'll work great. It's nice. It's soft. It's comfy. It's stretchy. But I think it would be super fun to add some closed eyes here. All right. And so you want to grab some yarn, and I'm using again cotton in it's kind of a darkish brown. It's not quite black. And I'm going to grab my needle here, and I'm just going to embroidery some eyes that are closed on it. That way it won't be mistaken for any other kind of mask. And maybe the kiddos will leave it alone, or maybe they won't. So my eye mask is all finished. I added a cute little winky eye over here, and I'll show you how to do that on this side. It's really super simple. You're just going to follow that line from row 2. And I just added a couple eyelashes over here. You could add a bunch of eyelashes down here if you want to. The key is that you want to try to stitch it so it doesn't come through the back. All right, so let's line this up a little bit. And we'll just go around that edge on the row 2 circle. And I'm leaving this out because I want to have a little bit to weave in when I'm done to hide it. Okay, and you're just going to make long stitches going around the circle of row 2. And again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It does make a fun gift and a kind of a fun gag if people come in and start bugging you when you're trying to have a little alone time and rest. But it's also kind of cute as well. But it's fine without it as well. All right, so I'm going to make one more stitch. You can see I just followed that around. All right, now I'm going to come right back up where I was at. And this time I'm going to show you, you can just make some eyelashes if you want to. One of the things to remember is you need to do them in a stitch and not a hole, or it will disappear in that hole. And you don't want to go all the way through to the back. You want it only on the front. Okay, so I'm going to go in the center of this stitch and go behind, in between, and just make some stitches. Being very careful not to go through to the back. And so you can make lots of eyelashes, or you can make the winky eye. It doesn't matter. This one's going to have one of each just because I think it's super cute. And the length of your eyelashes, of course, is up to you. And also how many you add. That one looks like I need to move it over a little bit. It's just on there. Okay, and then we'll just come up around here. And again, go in the stitch, not the hole, in between. I'll make sure I get one on this edge. There we go. Lots of eyelashes. I wish I would have put that one a little farther over, but it's okay. I am totally fine with it. I'm going to go in, come up right there. So I want to take a look, see if I need an extra one there on the end. Pull that back in. All right, now weaving this in can be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to show you what I do. I go to the back, I'll pull my needle through, and then I'm going to go in those stitches, being careful to go only through that layer and not all the way back through to the front. Okay, and then I'll cut that off. And it's nice and hidden. And then I need to do the same thing with this one. So we're all weaved in. I got my strings pulled to the back and everything looks nice and neat on the back. And then that's the front. Isn't that adorable? I just love it and I cannot wait to use it. And so this is our sleep, wink, eye mask for our Pamper Us time. This is the perfect mask. Lay down, take a nap, shut out the light, or maybe draw yourself a nice bath soak or bubble bath. Put this on and all your cares will magically go away. Hopefully.